Thank you for reminding me but I gotta start it first, Okay, and I can get off Facebook. Hmm. Okay.
And down the hall here, we have another bedroom. Or maybe someday.
Can you see it?
This house says to me we're ready to have. Who cares if it's over budget?
Fun fact. This is where they found the body.
Body? What body?
He said bodies. Yes. Bodies. Boom. Show us the attic. It's upstairs. Step into a Slim Jim!
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name. And I'm always glad you came. You wanna be the troubles all around the sun. You wanna be the
It's not too loud, is it?
No.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to part 6 in our love affair with post-apocalyptic wastelands and the joy that will become when the bomb hits or the water runs out.
It's usually bombs in the movies.
So today we are going to be talking Fist of the North Star as we continue through the top
That was an enemy too.
Our star number-wise for
Oh,
like
yeah.
70s.
Yeah, the 60s or 70s.
We should write some of this stuff down, but we're only 112 episodes into Toonami Pre-Flights. We're still ironing out a few of the kinks. We were going to then talk some of we're really delving into the nuance of post-apocalyptic movies now at this point. What was that? What? Stroke? Just want to see something. Or I'm having a stroke.
I didn't notice it.
But I'm not sure if my grandma.
Fun.
I think it was
Smelling oranges and what?
What, baby?
I'm not sure if my grandparents, because I wasn't sure if my grandparents would be off the phone.
Oh, yeah. At 6, you mean?
Yeah, I think that's when they actually start talking.
Right. And he's going to have to understand that because they might need the phone.
And I don't.
And you don't want to get in trouble with your grandparents.
Yes.
Well, he's
You gotta
going
understand that.
to
Oh,
have to.
dude, you can talk to me while you're watching the game.
Right, yeah. You can. You do it to me all the time. You talk to me. Even if you're watching the game or anything, you still talk to me about anything. Any TV shows that you like watching, and you still talk to me a little bit. I mean, sometimes you wait for the commercial, but that's okay.
You can talk to me like,
But he needs to talk to you because
chill.
yes,
God.
yes, he does.
Realize I gotta I should have kept it. It's But who knows when my grandma? Who knows when my aunt's gonna call?
Right, that's true. You don't
You know?
when you get what answer the call.
But
Right, because she might call when you're talking to him.
and then grandma gets mad, and then I'll have to deal with that later.
So you better just wait until you're calling. You need to wait. He gets mad down what? My grandparents use the phone too. They have the right to. They pay for it.
They have to. It's not like I have a cell phone. If I had a cell phone, it would be a lot easier. But like, I don't.
Because you could come, but you don't have a cell phone.
What are you doing on Friday?
Why?
Because we're going to Unity, so I'm not sure if Kyra's gonna
I won't
go
be
for
able
job site.
to do a half day.
What is the deal with the half days?
I don't know. I just know
Is it
that.
because it's like no? Is it because it's like so close into the year already?
No, I don't know. Not this Friday. I think it's this Friday. I'm not really sure. I think it might be next Friday. I don't know.
Okay. Ask your Cortana what the weather's gonna be.
Hey, Cortana, what's the
For
weather
tomorrow.
going to be for tomorrow?
The forecast for tomorrow shows partly sunny skies with a high of 69 and a low of 61.
I only ask you because I can't activate mine when I'm on stream.
I don't
Weird,
mind.
which is for some reason.
I don't mind, Danny.
Close that and resume the thing.
Okay, continue.
We're going to be talking about some of our favorite Road Warrior ripoff movies. A very fine niche of post-apocalyptic world.
Mad Max.
I think that's a very fine niche. It's a pretty broad
That's
niche.
fine.
Road Warriors are pretty influential.
I have never seen one, but
But I mean, in terms of ripoffs, like that it's.
I mean, for about 20 years after Road Warrior, there was a cottage industry of. Well, we'll talk about it in a minute.
yeah. What it,
Skill's just talking out of his ass, like always.
Part B.
You know what he's talking about. And we got some Toonami sneak peeks. We're going to show you guys our Attack on Titan promo. We're very excited to be
starting next.
I need to see season 1.
premiering Attack on Titan starting next Saturday. What time?
12:30.
12:30. And then Gil did one of his one man's trashes, and a pretty epic and incredibly boring one, if I do say so myself. Not the piece, but the act of
We all
getting the trash.
we're men of action. Lies to
Well, no, I mean, I'm sure the pieces, I'm sure, will thrill a minute.
It is, as always,
Will Gil do the crazy thing yet again?
back to back. This, I mean, I don't not to get too spoilery, but it was going to be.
Was a challenge.
It was a bigger challenge, and then they fixed it.
So
But
when you did it, though,
my
it
heart was in the right place.
hardcore
For the
trash.
most part, yeah.
You did it. It was hardcore trash. Well, let's talk.
It was more of a trash compactor.
Let's move on to this
I
week's.
think it has to do with Mass Effect because I read.
It's
Hey, probably.
animated Fist of the North Star. Lest you be confused and thinking we were talking about the '90s straight-to-home video live action, which is a fucking terrible movie. So Fist of the North Star, Hokuto no Ken, is based on a manga created by the writer Buron-san, who has never gone by any other moniker, and it is basically completely influenced by the Road Warrior. It is a post-apocalyptic world after nuclear bombs have fallen, in which a character wanders a blasted landscape, sort of helping people from town to town.
Is that an anime?
Condenses the first 100 or so issues of the manga into
What, babe?
Yeah, that's an anime too.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
it's cool.
but kind of fairly tight hour and 45-minute version of the story, sort of retelling what happens in the TV show, and then changing
Yeah,
certain
it's an anime.
and it sort of ends. I guess there's multiple endings too. So
Yeah, there's a theatrical ending and then a video.
and a video ending. But the movie, it's so when this movie came out, it was sort of when Fist of the North Star was at the height of its popularity, and basically they couldn't get it away with enough violence in the TV show, so they wanted to do a movie to really go nuts with the violence. And in Japan, even it was censored after they turned in their cut. They had to create strobing
Really?
and do all this other
Yeah,
stuff.
there's like Vaseline smears.
Yeah.
And
Because it's so gory that
Japan would be okay with it.
the censor board was like, "Whoa, yeah."
You trying to talk?
You think Japan would be okay with it because it's like Japan loves that kind of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Wonder what the fuck they had to censor the shit out of it. Sorry,
No, you're fine.
I didn't mean. I'm trying not to swear. Yeah,
You
I'm
and-
trying not to swear
You and the swear.
because who? I said fuck.
Hmm.
Like I'm trying not to swear because what if Dave is watching this with the baby?
Right, yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like with Kale.
Yeah.
So I'm trying not to swear. I mean, if I'm pissed, then yeah, I'm gonna. If I'm mad, a little bit. Yeah. Probably a whole lot. But I'm not mad. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
let me keep going.
We're Japanese, but we still have standards.
And in pretty much in every way, just a visually superior telling of the Fist of the North Star story from that, you know, the manga and the TV show follow. The TV show I think is superior because it takes
You get
time
more
to teach.
detail.
I mean, it takes time.
Really, I never ended up getting.
I like
Correct.
Remind me to end up calling Corey later too.
Oh, okay. Yes. I can do that. And I also gotta remember to get to the office tonight.
Okay. I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure if I'm taking off or not
What?
for prom.
Oh,
Grandma said we would have to talk about it.
okay.
Or I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure she's thinking about picking me up.
Oh.
Without even talking about it. Because I gotta shower, shave.
And I have to shower.
You can't do that. You can't do that in a matter of 5 hours. You can't do that in a matter of.
No. Trust me. You don't have a lot of time to do all that. So
I'm gonna talk about, like, even if she's like, pick me up, because no, there's no way that I.
see, I'm staying home that day. I am not going to school.
Oh, you're a girl. You have to get your nails done. You have to.
It's not just that. My hair. I need to take.
No,
I need to.
you have to get your, I'm not a girl, so I'm probably gonna end up. But I'm probably gonna talk. Like, I'm probably gonna talk about like having her like on the 15th. I'm gonna talk to her about picking me up
Right. Yeah.
because
You think it would be okay if you get picked up?
well the driver usually gets me home at 3.
Yeah, but what happens?
Still, that's
What happens if that day he ends up coming around 4 or 5? Then
it's
he's home and you kind of screwed. So
my issue. It's my issue. Like, what if you have like other people and I have to sit through the other people? And I have to get my ass. I'm just gonna talk to her when the 15th comes around
yeah,
about having to pick me up because there's no point. Smart is unreliable when you're trying to get somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many factors that you have to. She might as well just pick me up. I'm gonna talk to her about it on the 15th.
hmm
But I'm probably going to talk to her about it sooner because we have that calendar coming out. So
What is it?
we have the calendar coming out.
The calendar.
Calendar.
Okay.
We have the calendar coming out.
Okay.
So if she can pick me for on 2, then that's fine. Because I'll have 2, 3, 4, 5, 5:30.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'll probably talk to her about it too when the calendar comes out.
Right. Yeah.
The newsletter, so
Yes. Yes.
it's like, you know,
Yeah.
and we keep going.
Yes.
He doesn't do things in the movie that he does in the TV. In the TV show, he calls out Ken, the hero, calls out every time he does a move. He calls it out first and then does it, and he has certain catchphrases and stuff like "You don't know you're already dead." And he doesn't really do any of that in the movie. He doesn't call out any of his moves, and they kind of downplay the whole. They have it's really his origin story is the movie, and they have in the TV show you kind of only get his origin slowly as you go throughout the show.
Through a bunch of episodes.
And the movie starts with the world before the bombs fell, and then what life was like before, and then shows you the nuclear apocalypse basically, and then kind of fast forwards to afterwards as everything is starting to fall apart. So it weirdly, it does cover the same events of the show, but in a super compressed timeline.
The dub just makes up shit.
Yeah, the dub is a
Changes.
pretty legendarily terrible dub. I find it hilarious. I prefer Fist of the North Star Japanese, but the dub is pretty hilarious if you
just want to put it on in the background.
yeah, if you think 80s dubs are funny. So let's watch this is a Japanese trailer for Fist of the North Star, the movie. So let's check this out and we'll talk some more about it.
一撃必殺の北斗神拳を引っ提げて伝説の男ケンシロウが復活。愛、友情、そして正義のために散っていく男たちの熱いドラマが始まる。
数ある夢を long long time 腹取りしない込んで
胸に刻まれた7つの北斗の星が燃えるときケンシロウの怒りが爆発する。
もう二度とは戻れはしない悲しみの出口が
痛快無比笑い騒然の北斗10番勝。
Standing in my heart of darkness. Keep me alive, keep me my energy.
興奮を呼ぶ10分に1回の勝負。度肝を抜く必殺技。
I would probably want to see the movie first,
Yeah.
and then the show. Like, use the movie as the pilot.
Yeah.
If I could find the movie.
Yeah. Possibly.
無限のスリルとスケールにあふれた壮大なロマン。北斗の掟は俺が守る。大スクリーンをぶち破るスーパーアクション。北斗の拳。
I like that their solemn promise to you, the viewer, is that there will be a battle every 10 minutes, which is roughly the ratio in the show. He normally fights a minimum of 2 battles per show. So, and I like that they listed all 10 battles, like this guy versus this guy, this guy versus this guy.
It's up in the subtitles.
But you can see design element wise how much this takes from the Road Warrior. I mean, literally, they're riding around on motorcycles that they've modified. They're using sort of axes and spears, but then they have guns. They are putting on football uniforms to use as armor. I mean, it's completely 100% influenced by the Road Warrior, obviously, and not in a way that I find displeasing at all. Because I think the series is in some ways better than the Road Warrior. In others not, but so I don't know exactly. I haven't dug deep enough to know. I know that Budonson was influenced by the Road Warrior, but I don't know if he intended this show to be a tribute, or if he was just like, yeah, that's cool, I'll take that, and then I'm going to tell this story about the Fist of the North Star. So in this movie, they show how Ken gets his scars, which is basically his buddy turns on him and wants to take his girlfriend and beats his ass, and then gives him the scars, and then takes his girlfriend. So he spends the movie trying to find her, basically. And the controversial part about the movie, besides the violence, is that in Japan, when the film was released, the movie ends with Ken losing and basically allowing room for a sequel. I mean, kind of like the show, like where he's going to have to hunt Shin down. And people didn't like the ending, so when they made it for home video, they changed it so it was more of a draw, which I also have to say I prefer the ending that's a draw, because a central thing of Fist of the North Star is that Ken never loses, except for if he ever does lose, after 50 episodes, he'll lose to like one guy, and you're like, whoa, that guy's for real.
Yeah, to have them show him losing in the beginning and then end with the lose. It's like, wait a second.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. But the violence, if you can stomach it, is hilarious and awesome. The animation is pretty gorgeous. It definitely looks like theatrical quality animation. The design style is very firmly in the style of the manga and the TV show, with the sort of elongated, everyone's got big heads and like Oasis haircuts. But I just love it. I love Fist of the North Star. I like the movie, but I'm such a fan of the show that the movie's continuity stuff kind of bothers me in a way that it probably wouldn't bother anyone else that's watching it who isn't a mega fan.
I mean, I think it's a good place. If you haven't seen it before, it's a good place to
check it out and start. Yeah.
If you're a diehard fan of the TV show, I don't think you would necessarily like the movie as much, except for the violence.
The incredible action sequences, and it like every, I mean, like most post-apocalyptic stories, particularly in the 80s in Japan, this is very much dealing with surviving an apocalypse, which Japanese society itself, and a lot of those same themes are played out in this manga.
I would if Netflix would have it dubbed.
Sort of where the Japanese creator mindset was.
Yes.
And how
finally we have Naruto dubbed.
Of post-apocalyptic dystopian future movies that influenced anime the most were Blade Runner on one side and Cyberpunk, and then on the other side it was definitely the Road Warriors. You either had a dystopian future where society hadn't fallen apart, or you had one where an apocalypse had happened. And so it's just interesting to see the way that they approach it. Yeah, and I mean, it's essentially Kung Fu. It's the TV show Kung Fu, or The Incredible Hulk, with him wandering from town to town, mixed with the Road Warrior. So that's Fist of the North Star. I would urge you to stay away from the live action straight to video one. It's real bad. There's also
it's not even so bad it's good. It's
just bad. And then there's The Legend of the Dark King, which is a OVA prequel that's really good too, that I think is worth watching if you get into the I'm hoping that Discotek released Fist of the North Star in a remastered DVD like 10 years ago, and I'm hoping that since they're doing that with the Blu-rays now, that we'll get a good American version of a Blu-ray of the movie, because one doesn't exist right now. You can see the show on Hulu and several other streaming services, so track it down. But now that leads us handily into our topic of the day, which is, what's your favorite Road Warrior ripoff movie? So as we were starting to discuss, the Road Warrior, not so much Mad Max, the first Road Warrior movie, because in Mad Max, the world was slowly falling apart, but it had
still basically
there was still
intact
cops
structurally.
and
There was laws.
it was getting bad and slowly kind of sliding into chaos.
It's more like it is today.
It wasn't there yet. And
Road Warriors 5 years.
by the Road Warrior, it had gone all out. Like it had, whatever was causing society to rot and fall apart had led to war, which then devastated the world. And by the Road Warrior, you're like 10 years on from, you know, Mad Max, and you're in full on post-apocalyptic wasteland. And it was a hugely influential movie simply because, number one, it was fairly low budget and it made a ton of money. And number two, it had a design aesthetic using sort of recycled cars, recycled, you know,
The same way
sport
that
gear.
Blade Runner feels like it would be what the way is in the future, where there's some stuff that's totally futuristic and some
Yeah.
stuff that is just been pieced together from the past.
Yeah.
This feels like if everything went to shit and you were just like, give me this and this and this, and
Right.
I'll make a shirt. That's how.
And in the world of the Road Warrior, the main commodity anyone cares about is gasoline and water. Those are the two things everyone wants. And strangely not food, which I would think would be the real one. But so everyone wants gasoline to fill up their vehicles, and the people with the biggest, you know, fiercest army and vehicles are the ones who take, you know, the shit that they
and
want.
ironically need the most gas because it's the least fuel efficient vehicle.
So the world has gone very tribal. So I think important things that distinguish a Road Warrior ripoff movie for us, criteria-wise, must be, one, it must be post the Road Warriors release. Two, it must contain a post-apocalyptic scenario of some kind. Three, it must contain design elements that relate back to the Road Warrior. So things like cars that have been modified, old cars that have been modified, sporting gear that's been modified, people using swords and, you know, like hand-to-hand weapons because they don't have guns anymore. And it must contain a taciturn hero who's like crabby. Yeah. So those are sort of our criteria that we used. So going off of that, I'm going to go through some of my favorite Road Warrior ripoffs. I have to say that the Road Warrior is one of my favorite films and has been for many years, and was a deep and abiding influence on my whole life. So I've seen a whole lot of Road Warrior ripoff movies. There are a ton. A lot of them are from foreign countries because, again, the Road Warrior was Australian. So what that did was any country that had a little cotton industry was like, oh yeah, well let's buy some beat up old cars and throw on some leather jackets and cut off the arms.
Spaghetti Western
Yeah.
for the 80s.
It's definitely Italy and the Philippines were two of the largest producers of the post Road Warrior sort of boom. Also the US, a lot of straight to video movies, and then Australia itself. They tried for several people tried to, you know, capitalize on the Road Warrior. None of these movies are even a patch on the Road Warrior's ass, but they're still fun if you want more. You know, to me, the greatest Road Warrior ripoff is Fist of the North Star, and anything else is terrible. So, but they're still fun to watch if you really like, you know, crappy people running around trying to kill each other with deserts and stuff, which I do.
Yeah, I mean, some of them fall into like campy B-movie, fun to watch scenarios.
Yeah.
Some are just bad movies.
Yeah.
And there's a few that you're like, that wasn't actually as bad as it probably should have been.
Yeah, I mean, Road Warrior was very much like Star Wars. I mean, like Blade Runner, I think influenced things in a design sense for a long, long time. But you had to have money to replicate the Blade Runner world, or you had to be doing animation.
Right.
Road Warrior was influential in the way
You
that
needed a
Star
lot of
Wars
open
was.
land.
You just need crazy characters.
You need a loose legal system
So if
and
you're
lots of land.
Yeah, if you're a movie producer, it was something that you just, you know, the gold rush kind of, it was a wave. So anyway, so the first of mine is starring the always great Patrick Swayze, and that is the 1987 classic Steel Dawn. This is,
Do you think they would have named it Steel Dawn if he hadn't been in Red Dawn?
I don't know, but this is him coming off of this is peak.
Yeah.
I don't know why he did this movie, because it's a lower budget movie than most of the movies he was in, but he must have just enjoyed the idea of being the hero and he does swordplay in the movie.
I think he wanted to wear that leather strap.
Yeah. So
Couldn't figure out
Steel Dawn is directed by a guy who ended up producing a ton of other movies like Crocodile Dundee, and like he was a movie producer, but he directed this movie, and it's basically the movie Shane. If you've ever seen the Western Shane is about a gunslinger who's a reluctant gunslinger who comes to live with a family on a farm, and the farm is being menaced by people who want their land, and he reluctantly agrees to take up his guns and, you know, fights the bad guys and then leaves. And so this is basically Shane, but transposed with Mad Max.
And it's post Youngblood, pre Dirty Dancing.
Pre-Dirty Dancing,
Swiss.
I think, is the key thing.
So-
'Cause that was his big.
Pre Tiger, Warsaw, pre Next of Kin, pre Roadhouse.
Yeah, okay, so this is early on in his career, then earlier than I was thinking. So the reason the movie I like it is because it is such a blatant Road Warrior ripoff that they don't even. I mean, and they're obsessed with water in this movie. So the whole thing is about he's living on this sort of farm, and the woman who owns the farm has access to an aquifer underneath the ground, and she plans on flooding the valley and turning it into green. And meanwhile, there are these sort of bad guys who want to take her water and keep it for themselves. And Patrick Swayze is like a former kung fu sword fighter guy whose sensei was killed, he thinks, and so he kind of wanders around being crabby with his sword. And so there's some good sword fighting and some good battles. And it was actually, the budget was like $3.5 million, so it was a more expensive Road Warrior ripoff than any of the other ones that we're going to talk about. It only made $500,000 at the box office, so it certainly didn't take off.
Not ideal.
But I have here a couple funny Steel Dawn things. First, we'll watch the trailer, and then I have something else.
Out of the ruins of a nuclear war, through a landscape of unearthly beauty and unknown terrors, and into a world struggling against the forces of nature, the forces of evil.
I am the authority in this land.
A legend is born.
You shouldn't play with sharp objects.
The legend of a man with no name and no home.
Might be mysterious, don't you?
A warrior trained in the ancient art of combat. A man needs his exercise. A hero for a new civilization.
My father's kid knew him. He was a commander.
I knew it. He is all that stands between those who would rebuild and those who would destroy.
Cut the boy's throat.
This is his challenge. This is his triumph. Patrick Swayze is the soldier of destiny.
Do you feel safe now?
Yes.
Steel Dawn, the legend begins.
Good old Lance Hool.
And his brother Conrad, who
Yeah. So pretty hilarious, and so hilarious that there's a YouTube channel where a person sort of just puts the best top 10 lines from any movie together, and I guess somehow they ended up getting all the way down the ladder to Steel Dawn. So here are the best lines from Steel Dawn. Check it out.
Play with sharp objects.
You used to be faster.
You used to have more hair.
Work with me, nobody gets hurt. Turn me down. A lot of people get hurt.
You wear the vest of a guard.
I was a captain of the elite.
Now, you're an assassin.
We all have to make a living.
Well, it's time for you to earn it.
Nobody wants to board out old soldier anyway.
What do you think I am?
What I'm offering is food and shelter.
Food sounds good. I thought scut rats only came out at night.
You've been roaming the wastelands, brawling with half men, no doubt.
A man needs his exercise.
You might as well know the layout from the start. I'm head dog on this farm, so unless you want to answer to me, don't go making trouble for us. Understand?
What's the matter? Never seen a grown man naked?
You're very cool for a man in your position. You're the best competition I've ever had. But no one is better than me. You talk too much.
Thank you, Team 84, for that breakdown of the 10 best lines from Steel Dawn. If you like Patrick Swayze and you like Road Warrior stuff,
And you like all the cable calls, guest stars of everything.
yeah, it's worth an afternoon. It might help to be inebriated, but I'm not advocating that you drink. So next up is a pretty hilarious, really bad movie, but it's got really good stunts. And this is Exterminators of the Year 3000, which is an Italian Road Warrior ripoff from the late 80s. And it's this sort of Italian dub where everyone's speaking English. And then they would, much like spaghetti westerns, they would do all the dialogue post ADR. And so evidently the director didn't really know English, but he wouldn't let any of the actors change their lines to sound more like there's some really weird sentence structures and stuff. And the director was like, "No, you can't change the script."
That's a strong artistic vision. Speaking in a font.
So let's check out the trailer for Exterminators of the Year 3000 real quick.
Oh, your mother brought this up.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it back. But you're gonna promise me you're not gonna be so gay and bossy. Because you were being bossy. Who wants to play with somebody who's being bossy? Maybe you. But he don't, Papa don't. Ain't nobody got time for that. We're being a turd. That's how you say it. I'm not nice. I said it. What? And I'm not nice. I'm this you come out my dog fight. You come out. Just saying.
Hold on.
What? I have no. Cool.
What's going on?
I don't know. I don't know why.
All I heard is Courtney yelling at it. All I heard was Courtney yelling at Rick or somebody.
It was Jake.
He was being bossy?
Yeah, he was being unfair to people, so.
I'm sorry, it's none of my business. Hard to dick.
And I can't help these walls are very shallow and can hear.
No, it's like I can hear you.
No, I'm sorry, I don't got a soundproof walls, mister.
Hold on, maybe I should talk.
Yeah, but what happens?
I know, yeah.
No, I'm just saying. He needs to not be like that.
Like, you don't want me to be like. Anyway, keep going.
Well, I'm sorry for him to be that everything's not evolved around here, but I hate to tell him, but your grandparents might need the phone right now.
Yeah, that's why I'm waiting.
Well, if
That's why I'm waiting.
Then I hate to tell him, but he don't need to be getting mad at that. Grandparents talk to people. They have the right to. It's the phone. They're the one paid for it. He needs to quit. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not about to get on this phone.
Yeah, it's that thing. Grandma like, can you get off the phone? I need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like,
You don't need to
don't
get
call me. You know, don't expect me to call you. I'm about to tell you when I can get a chance to call you again. I mean, from right now, the time that he set up is 6:30. But who knows when my aunt's gonna call at 6:30.
Right. So maybe you should stay up the phone. And if he gets mad about it, well, sorry, you don't own the phone. Who pays for it?
I don't
Your
have.
grandparents. So I think it's the time to talk on people. I mean, if he had a
So
cell
it's
phone,
like-
I'd say yeah, call him. But you don't have a cell phone, and usually your aunt would be calling soon. So
And I don't know the time. So I can't be like, oh, between the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't need to get mad about that stuff.
You can't do them.
Huh?
No.
Is everything okay?
I just want to check something real quick.
Oh, you're fine. I was just wondering if you're okay.
Okay, this is fine.
Okay.
Like maybe I should say 6, and then be like, okay, I'll call you at 6, but be ready for me to have to get off sooner. Who knows? Like I don't know when they're gonna call.
Right.
They could call at 7. What time is it now?
It is 6:25.
Like, what time is it?
Time is 6:27 p.m.
I just use voice control instead of having to boot up Siri. No.
Right.
But I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'll call you at 6:30, but like, be ready for me to have to get off.
Yeah.
Like early,
True.
Hey Siri, what time is it?
It's 6:28 p.m. Good evening, Darren.
Yeah, but who knows what time they're gonna call? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I can't. Maybe I'll put it at 6 p.m. Maybe I'll have him like put me at 6 p.m. because I wasn't sure. I'm never sure when they use the phone.
Yeah, it's true, but.
Nick,
Huh?
what you doing?
In here?
Huh?
Why?
I need you for 5 minutes.
Hello. Yeah. 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 How you doing? Yeah. Where is it? Oh my goodness. Two of the worst places to have it too. Yeah. Jeez. I wanted to call you before the game, Yeah. Pretty much nothing. Will. Yeah. Yeah, he was asking about you, so I told him what was going on with you and stuff like that. Like about the cancer and stuff like that. I haven't told him that. Do you want me to tell him that? Okay. Okay. Anyway, I'll let you get ready for the game then. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Bye. I kind of had to hurry because I wasn't sure.
You gotta say that guy.
I can't be being like that. Otherwise, he'll get mad and pissed off.
Exactly. There you go. You're just letting him go. Look, you live with your parents, grandparents. You don't own the phone. He does not own that phone. Your grandparents pay for that phone. Unless he wants to share whatever money it is to your grandparents just to help with the phone. Then I can say, oh, okay. But he does not own you. I don't want him hearing, oh, I miss that you didn't call me. Well, guess what, fat ass? Shut up your mouth and be quiet. The guy has, no matter what, his grandparents need the phone. He does not need to be bossing you around because you can't call him. Maybe you had something to do. Maybe you had a doctor's appointment. Maybe you couldn't call the phone. Maybe your grandparents couldn't let you call. Maybe you couldn't call on phone. He needs to shut his little mouth before I sew his mouth shut, and he had to eat out of a straw. Which one does he want? Me to do that or him to shut his mouth? Because next time he needs to shut his mouth and stop being pissed off about things. I'm sorry. I feel bad for the guy for having cancer. But listen, Darren.
Well, you're talking about things from before.
Listen. When someone can't call somebody, you can't get mad at that person. You say, okay, sorry, you couldn't call me. Maybe next
time. He didn't get mad the last time. Maybe he understood. Maybe he understands.
Maybe he needs to understand before I do shut his mouth shut. I'm sorry, but I'm not all for that. The earth does not revolve around him. He is not the sun. The sun is in the sky. He is in a big fall of fire for one, so he needs to be quiet. Because the earth does not revolve around him. No one revolves around him. He needs to stop. Again, he owns everyone. He does not. I wonder why he can't keep a girlfriend. That's why. That is why. You do never do anything like that. That would definitely not be my boyfriend. If I had a boyfriend like that, I'd be kicking him out the door and hoping the door hits him way out on the way out. Because that won't go with me well at all. That one, nope. Or even friends with him. Not a bit, no. I'll be friends with Corey, but not Cliff. I feel bad for him because he has cancer. No one just.
But you don't have to be like, oh,
he has cancer. No matter who they are, no one just says that. But for him to be that way is a reason why he probably.
Talking about the last time, like he hung up on me and stuff.
Exactly. He does need to take care of that problem. He needs to go get help and understand things in life. Again,
no, I'm not saying no. But he probably
needs to go to therapy and have them talk to him. Because he should not be getting upset with you just because you didn't have time to call. What happens if you were on a date with me? Is he gonna get, oh man, why didn't you call me? Well, of course, because you're on a date with me. And I'm gonna sit there and freaking leave my girlfriend while talking on the phone with somebody? I doubt that, no.
And like, what if we were?
Darren, no. Because we're on cam stream and you're going to. No, I'm just saying because David can see that, but he can know what you're talking about when we email that. David's gonna know that we no. Just saying. Okay?
Yeah.
Your family can't know about that, or anybody know about it. But us and your grandparents and my parents. But yeah, that too. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm like.
It doesn't go with me.
I'm trying not to.
I didn't like that because I know the earth does not revolve around me. It revolves around the sun. I might have got mad at you because you didn't call me or something like that because I thought you. But that was in the past. And for one, I'm older. If you don't call me, it's fine. I'm not gonna get mad about it. But he needs to quit that. He really does. It gets annoying and tiring after a while.
Yeah, he needs to stop doing that.
He needs to stop that. He's not the boss of everyone. But that can also be a reason because he's scared too. Because when people are scared,
I'll tell you what.
They can get attentionally get like mean when people try to get scared because they're afraid.
They can.
And he could be scared of that, and that's why. But I'm just saying that could be it. That could be 100% it because I would be scared too with my ass. You know what I mean? It's a scary thing. It's scary to have that, to be found that, you know? Think of a child. You know, it's not fun to be a child to have that. You're a child. You should be having fun. But you got those kids that are in the hospital and that lives there because they have that issue. You know, think of it. You know, it's scary. It's not really.
Take Mariah's profile picture because who knows if she.
What is it?
I'm checking Mariah's.
It ain't you. Then she got out of that. I'm still not like her because of all that, but still.
I'm just checking. I'm not being rude or anything. But who knows?
I mean, don't David watch these? So
Yeah, something.
that's why.
That's why I was trying.
I know, but I know that he would know what we're talking about because he's just sorry, that's me. I just don't want him thinking things. I mean, it's not like we've faking it. We've actually, you know.
Anyway, keep going.
Yes. Sorry, I had to just say that because it's just, I don't really care for that kind of white people that think they're gonna own people because they're doing stuff.
Once more into the breach, you mother grabber! Let's provide that water!
If it weren't for that water, he would have left me to die a long time ago. Isn't that so?
You know something, kid? I get tired of listening to you.
That's what you always say.
You barely hear what they're saying. I hate it when it's like.
Hold on, sorry, what? What?
I hate it when movies are something that you can barely hear what they're saying.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I hate that too. Yeah, it's true. It gets annoying because it's like, how are you supposed to even hear that or understand what they're saying? I love you too. I love you. Oh, I love you forever too. So sweet. I love you forever.
Keep going.
Yes, you're so sweet. I love you.
No, I was just using that as an example.
What? What?
You know, I was just using that as an example, right? I'm just saying, like. What if I was on a date with you or something? Like, what if, you know?
Oh, I know. I just didn't want, you know.
And it got to that, and you know.
Well, I hate to tell him, but you go on a date with me, and you don't need to be upset. You're spending time with your girlfriend. And maybe you know a little more.
That was an example. Like, what if, you know, what if I was in the middle with you or something?
Yeah. I don't know. I know. I just was. I thought you didn't want. I don't know. I just. I wasn't sure. Like, David would know what they're talking about because, like, you kind of freaked out one time at me. And,
Wonder what we're having for dinner.
you.
Was that you or me?
What was it?
Facebook.
Oh, my Facebook's off, so it's probably you.
Hold on.
Oh, it was probably me texting you. Kind of wrote you back.
But, yeah. That was you.
You gotta say no, it's me.
Whoa! Did they hit you in the mouth? Your tooth missing.
No, I tried to hit another ball and it hit me.
And you busted your tooth out? Oh man.
Anyway,
What, baby?
you busted a tooth?
His baby teeth was just gonna come out anyway.
Dad!
What?
Her baby teeth. His baby.
Were they calling for you?
No, they were talking out there. This is really loud. They're just making too much noise. I wish it would leave.
For dinner.
What, babe?
For dinner.
What for dinner?
What are you having for dinner?
Oh, I don't know what we're having for dinner.
Keep going.
Yes, cutie. Sexy. Sexy. Sexy.
I love you.
I love you too. Sorry, I had to do that. It made you smile.
She's got to come soon, Jojo.
Yeah, so
I like that movie is the last of the Oldsmobile Cutlasses.
Yeah.
It's not 60s muscle
they don't
cars,
use
it's
it. Yeah,
70s grandma car.
yeah. I mean, this is probably of all the things we're talking about. This is the most blatant Road Warrior ripoff. Like it's literally the Road Warrior, but instead of gasoline, they want water. So they come to this guy who is basically the Road Warrior asking for his help to fight off these guys who want to take their water. So it's exactly the Road Warrior, but instead of gasoline, it's water.
Which makes more sense.
But I do like it because not the fact that it's an Italian Spanish made film with bad dubbing makes it at least enjoyably ridiculous. And then they work pretty hard.
That's probably Spanish.
Roughly, again, like
What,
every 10 minutes, and they do a lot of real stunts. There's a lot of cars being flipped and shit exploding, and like if you are a young person, which I was when I saw this, and you're looking for action in your Road Warrior ripoffs, this is probably the one that packs the most action into it. This one's available on Blu-ray from Shout Factory, so it's stood the test of time enough that you can buy a Blu-ray of it now, which is bananas. And then finally is a movie that was on HBO and Cinemax when I was a kid all the time, so I saw it many, many times. And that is, of course, Metal Storm: The Destruction of Jared Sin in 3D. This was a 3D film. So this is more. This one's a little bit. It's pushing our rules because it happens on another planet, but in every other way, it's the Road Warrior. They kind of try to have some Star Wars type bad guys in this. So it's a little bit trying to crib from. It's like cribbing a little bit from Star Wars Aliens, and then the design is total Blade Runner. The plot is kind of Blade Runner, but it's basically this evil magician.
Yeah, it's like if Flash Gordon and Road Warrior had a baby.
It's an evil magician who's sort of enslaving this world, and it stars this anti-hero who has to basically go through a bunch of bad guys to get to Jared Sin and stop him. So here's the trailer for Metal Storm: The Destruction of Jared Sin in 3D.
In a future that grows ever closer, the fate of our Earth will lie in the hands of one man, a solitary warrior of great courage. His name is Doki, and he is called the Finder. His enemies will emerge from the underworld to test his strength. Urok, the Cyclopean warlord of the One Eyes, the assassin Baal, half man, half machine, and Jared Sin, leader and mastermind of the sinister renegades. They will utilize their cruelest weapons. They will exploit their most mysterious powers. As they create an epic non-stop action-adventure movie that will challenge your senses. And they will do all this
in 3D thing.
Yeah.
This summer.
3D. 3D.
Yeah.
Like that typical. What is this called?
Metal Storm, I think.
Play it. Like,
yeah.
Metal Storm: The Destruction of Jared Sin in 3D.
Metal Storm. Okay, Metal Storm.
Ojin, the hero, travels the wastelands of the planet that this movie happens on in this total Road Warrior vehicle, like the whole time. And this is directed by the guy who directed the Puppet Master movies and Trancers. So he's actually a kind of a cult filmmaker who's done a lot of movies that are hilarious and awesome. I like the crazy characters in this one. I really love that the one guy's whole thing is a robot claw that flips out and he just squirts acid at people. It's like, why do you even have a claw?
Yeah, just an aerosol can.
It's just totally stupid. And since it was filmed in 3D, there's tons of like,
it's the 80s,
80s 3D
through the screen, in front of the screen,
and of course stars Bull from Night Court as a Cyclopean warrior. Very not scary.
Like
the guy's like 6 feet tall, and he's just not scary. Yeah, they just slap some stuff. So those are people who they put out their own eyes, so they're Cyclopses, but by choice, which seems weird. But so those are three of my. At least I liked them a lot when I was a kid. The three of my favorite Road Warrior ripoffs.
I like the caveat. Three of my favorite. Well, when I was.
I mean, the only one I would probably watch now is Steel Dawn, and maybe I'd watch Exterminators of the Year 3000 with a group of friends.
Steel Dawn is not a bad airplane movie.
Yeah, there's way worse. It's not good either, but there's way worse.
If you're flying, if you're halfway around the world,
if you like the Swayze, it's worth it.
It's no Roadhouse.
It's no
That's
Roadhouse.
Not a fair standard.
That's true. We can't.
Movies too.
You can't get to Roadhouse with every movie.
Yeah, Roadhouse. Barely
it's at least as good as Next of Kin or many of his. There you go. Or many of his other films. It's at least as good as that.
One of these days I'll figure that out.
Forever.
Yeah. Excellent choices.
Thank you.
First up for me is 1985 Wheels of Fire from Sergio Santiago, the Philippine
What the
vacation director, partner of Roger Corman, which pretty much tells you all
That's all you need to hear, really.
This is Gary Watkins pre Johnny Dangerously and Laura Banks post Wrath of Khan.
Oh wow, okay.
So it's really a sweet spot of acting in it, and this is pretty much another straight rip all the way through. There's this, what do they call it? The Scourge is who they're fighting, so it's more of a set band of people, and this is a brother and sister, and the sister's kidnapped, so then he's got to kill everybody. It's
I like
basically
the Interceptor.
idea. It looks good.
His Interceptor has a his air-cooled engine actually has machine guns on it. I need to do that on mine.
Yeah, so let's check out the trailer for Wheels of Fire, and then we can delve into it.
This is the future, and it's up for grabs. Doomsday is history. Only the strong survive. All that stands between civilization and chaos are wheels of fire, and a stranger who drives as if there's no tomorrow, because there may not be one. Wheels of fire. They're ruthless animals on a desert rampage, and they've got his sister. Put her down.
It's not going to be the same, Trace. I see what these people can do to a woman.
No ordinary man could save her, but this is no ordinary man. First like
The fortress.
one last hero making one last stand. I'm gonna get her back. This is the future. It's every man for himself. Time is running out. It's a world without laws, without justice. There are no rules. Nothing can stop the vicious road scum who ravage the wasteland in machines of destruction. The ultimate confrontation between good and evil. Nothing can stop his wheels of fire. The heat is on. He'll go the distance. Wheels of fire.
I mean, Gary Watkins isn't the most convincing anti-hero. Over and over, it's just to jump off like a 4-foot thing. But they do a good.
Did you say something, babe?
Finish this.
Sorry.
Redid.
It's just every time you say something, I think you're gonna say something. I wanted to say something, and I usually like say, "Hey, pause." Pause it.
No, I'm saying I'm just gonna finish this because we're like halfway done with it anyway.
Yeah, we should. Then get off or something.
Anyway, keep going.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, sir, baby.
Job again of crashing a bunch of vehicles. They didn't quite figure out how to blow something up while it's moving. It's like either it's moving or it's blowing up. So it's,
But still,
but they had like $47.
The Italians always go the extra mile with stunts and blowing shit up, which I appreciate.
Next for me is a little on the cusp, but I like it so much that I'm going to do it anyway. And that's Hell Comes to Frogtown. This
movie's awesome. It's totally ridiculous.
This is the fact that it's not. It's a spoof comedy movie. Like they made it to be. It's really more of a Escape from New York rip than a straight
Road Warrior
rip. But Escape from New York is
it's kind of both.
But this is it was Donald Jackson and R.J. Kaiser, who were both editors with Roger Corman, and they were like, "Yeah, you go direct this Roddy Piper movie." So this is a future where there are frog people, and Roddy Piper is the only fertile man
Frog Town
to repopulate humanity. So he has to go save the government's harem of women, and he has explosives attached to his genitals.
You want me to pause it?
This is a weird one. Hell Comes to Frog Town. Hell.
Yeah. Kind of weird, isn't it?
Let me keep going.
Yeah.
To make sure that I guess he's properly motivated is the thinking.
That's so stupid.
And if that doesn't sound quite dumb enough, let's check out the trailer for Hell Goes to Frogtown.
In the future, after the big war, there will come a time to rebuild and a need for a new and special kind of soldier.
This man is carrying a loaded weapon.
Prepare to meet the next great American hero.
That's where you come in.
Are you serious?
His name is
Hell. Sam Hell.
Never heard of you.
We're going to Frogtown.
And this is the adventure he's been waiting for.
We're gonna get him out, and then you're gonna get him pregnant.
And if anyone's got a chance of rescuing the virgins from the evil clutches of Toady.
It's a miracle.
What?
It's Sam.
Holy shit!
Be there for
Did you hear that, or was I just crazy?
I heard that too, and I'm like, what?
And be there for the dance of the three snakes.
Or die!
We're all gonna die.
When hell
You're right, this is crazy.
comes to Frogtown. Starring Roddy Piper as Sam. The one we'll do. Sandal Bergman as Nurse Spangle. Wired to glow. Hell comes to Frogtown.
Eat that, froggies!
Eat lead, froggies.
I just wonder, like, as the VO promo announcer, are you just like, what in the...
No, I think you probably thought it was awesome because you had a good time.
Something else to read.
Something that actually had a sense of humor about itself.
Yeah.
As opposed to normally
That
kind of really
hilarious. Like, that's hilarious. That is one of the movies that I like. Like a spoof movie.
I think great. I think Hell Comes to Frogtown is hilarious. I mean, it's not a good movie, but it definitely is not. It's not a bad movie. It does what it's trying to do.
Yeah.
It's just trying to do something real dumb. And it's like,
Yeah, I wonder if
And I like
Roddy
Roddy.
Piper's like, damn, if I just come out of wrestling 20 years later, I would have had The Rock's career, but instead...
I mean, I love Roddy Piper. I love They Live, and I love Hell Comes to Frogtown. So
Hats off,
right there,
Mr. Piper.
Yep.
Last for me is the new Barbarians from Spaghetti Western master Enzo Castellari. I'll scoot over and do this one. So you're Fred Williamson if you duck.
Oh, yeah, I already did.
Yeah. And so the new Barbarian. Well, let's just watch the trailer. This is there's no real plot.
There's no the trailer.
It's more like the plot is, what if we just blow up a bunch of shit, and that's pretty much
I'm
what
down.
it's like.
Let's see.
The bomb went off. Now let's kill everybody.
Cool.
Is basically the plot.
Let's do it. I think that's a great plan.
Check it out.
At the beginning of the 21st century, the nuclear holocaust had come to pass, and civilization vanished. It was a time of chaos and violence, until one day there appeared the new barbarians. The New Barbarians. The New Barbarians.
I have not seen that.
Oh, that's good.
That's awesome.
The score is that it's
The
all
New
that music is
Barbarians.
synth. It's they blow people up. You'd love it. It's like they're really almost more plot than the movie has in the trailer.
Yeah. Clearly, they went all out to make a bunch.
There's
of
one
shit
scene where
explode.
Jude's riding a motorcycle and they blow his head up and he keeps riding it for like 100 yards.
Damn it.
I liked also that this.
Don't forget to call Koi either.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Post-apocalyptic future, everyone has James Bond spy vehicles that can shoot missiles and have flamethrowers and like all this complicated shit. Like in the road,
white uniforms.
in the Road Warrior,
White uniforms in a post-apocalyptic world just doesn't seem like a good choice.
in the Road Warrior, they
Everything
just
is cool.
added armor to their cars because they'd be smacking into each other, and maybe some of them had a swivel gun, like a mechanical, as they're called, which is not that hard to put on a car. But in the Road Warrior, every car wasn't outfitted with futuristic James Bond spy stuff.
Maybe it should have been. They would have been allowed.
But it's just funny, you know. I mean, I was thinking, these all happened in the '80s, where the idea of a nuclear apocalypse, when you and I were growing up,
yeah,
and the
was
Cold War,
moments away.
Cold War was in full swing. It was very much as
Every plane that flew over, you're like, is that say USSR? on it?
as a kid in the '80s, they had. I mean, we didn't quite have the duck and cover drills that they had in the '60s, but we literally, nuclear war was a topic that was discussed all the time, and the fear of a nuclear war was something that was very much front of mind for our whole society.
War games
for the 80s. So I think that the reason Mad Max took off is because it sort of touched that nerve. And it's funny that nowadays we have more post-apocalyptic movies than ever, but very rarely are they post-nuclear, because I think that scenario is seen as
It's
less
more likely
plausible.
now that it's Waterworld or it's
Right. It's Soylent Green, where it's like things are falling apart, which is kind of how I think most people think it would more happen than a nuclear apocalypse, which I think nowadays people kind of know enough about it to know that if that happens, we're all just going to die. There's not going to be
It's not a fun place.
I'm psyched. Whatever. Bring it. I'm psyched for all of it. So let's see what you guys thought your favorite Road Warrior ripoff movies were. Let's start with the Adult Swim picks, which we have Fist of the North Star, which I can't argue with. Six String Samurai, which is a really good movie, and I don't know that it's quite a Road Warrior ripoff, but it's got elements of the Road Warrior. It's a Western. Death Race 2000, I have to disqualify because it came out in the 70s, well before the Road Warrior. So I think Death Race 2000 is a fun movie, but it's not fair to call it a Road Warrior ripoff because it predates the Road Warrior. Turbo Kid, which is sort of a parody movie, is definitely a Road Warrior ripoff. It's a parody of those kinds of movies. And 1990, The Bronx Warriors, which is another Italian classic.
Yeah, that's Enzo Castellari as well.
That's a hilarious, awesome.
That's when 1990 felt like a long time
in
the future.
And that's like, that really is Escape from New York and the Road Warrior combined. And then, so let's take a look at the Toonami picks. So you guys have, again, Fist of the North Star at the top. Trigun, which I didn't think of.
Yeah, when I saw the list, I was like,
sort of. I mean, it's a Western again, and people have Road Warrior-esque outfits, so I think there's part of it is, I think you could make
we'll allow it.
But there's only one Trigun movie, and it's not really a Road Warrior ripoff. Steel Dawn, of course. Escape from New York, again, I have to take issue with that because Escape from New York came out, basically, I think it came out the same year as the Road Warrior, so it's hardly influenced by the Road Warrior. I think it influenced not equally, but a lot of movies in the way Road Warrior did, but they're not, I don't think you could say it was a ripoff. And Waterworld, which is absolutely a Road Warrior ripoff. It's the whole movie of Waterworld is Road Warrior, but on the water. Like that's the whole movie.
Over and over.
Which again is probably why I enjoy Waterworld.
And it got a bad rep because it costs so much money to just make
because
a movie in the middle of nowhere on the water.
It turns out making an actual city of floating metal in the middle of the ocean, and
when everybody has to pee, you have to drive a boat out to pick them up. Like if that movie hadn't cost so much money, I don't think people would have.
No, I don't. I mean, it's not a good movie, but it's a fun.
It's better than The Postman for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely better than The Postman. If we're rating Kevin Costner,
that's down the line. But
post-apocalyptic.
Somebody make a note.
We'll have to do a whole Postman episode for sure.
Favorite Kevin Costner post-apocalyptic
favorite scene from The Postman.
There's only one,
so
we would both pick.
Let's go into the. But that's it for our discussion about Road Warrior ripoffs. Let's go into
this. 45 minutes.
Let's go into the sneak peeks for next week for this coming broadcast of Toonami. So first up, we have a lineup promo adding Attack on Titan, which we're very excited about, and sort of giving you guys a peek at how our lineup is going to go for the next couple months. So let's check that out.
Saturday night belongs to Toonami.
And we're going bigger than a Titan.
Samurai Jack starts things off with a roar at 11.
Then Dragon Ball Super hits at 11:30.
I am a mighty god! DBZ Kai, the final chapters, punches in at midnight.
Then the second season of Attack on Titan stomps in at 12:30.
Tokyo Ghoul rounds up the freaks at 1. Smooth and steady, that's the ticket.
Hunter x Hunter breaks ground at 1:30. For your sins, you'll pay with your life.
Then dive deep into Gundam Unicorn at 2.
There's an enemy mobile suit on Comic 4.
Shippuden summons at 2:30.
Let's settle this! And stay down, dog!
And Standalone Complex emerges at 3.
Nice of you to join me.
Toonami, every Saturday night from 11 to 3:30.
We see you today.
Cool, pretty solid lineup, I think. Then we have an episode 6, a topical promo for episode 6 of Samurai Jack, which, as with every other Samurai Jack episode, is totally awesome. Hopefully, you guys will feel the same. That'll be this Saturday at 11. So let's check that out.
I do.
On the next episode of Samurai Jack. You sure she was the one who goes out to murder?
It'll be episode 7 once.
I'm not trying to hurt him.
You?
I'm trying to find him. Samara?
You seen it already?
Saturday at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Huh?
I love you. It's one from last week that we saw.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I seen it already because she's looking for him, right? And they thought she was trying to kill him. They were trying to. They thought she thinks. They thought she was gonna.
One thing, if you haven't seen this episode, I thought that was a suit. I thought that was a suit of black, like armor or something. I didn't know that was like soot.
Her?
Yeah.
It's not her. It's not a suit.
I didn't know that was like soot. That is physically like soot, like embers.
So it's like a part of her body?
I guess her mother made her bathe in like soot or something.
So it's like on her body.
To make them dark, well, you could wash it off with the water.
Right.
I mean, we
He just what keeps continuing sticking an axe.
It's like soot. So
Huh.
I guess it got so hard that it just looked like,
That's weird.
Yeah.
It is. It's weird.
Talking about it, it's kind of weird.
It's weird.
Keep going.
Yes.
Only Toonami. And then next up, we have a promo for episode 16 of Dragon Ball Super. So let's check that out.
Yay!
On the next all-new episode of Dragon Ball Super. Who the hell are you actually, Whis? You're more than just Beerus' servant, aren't you?
Oh, did I neglect to mention?
Sorry.
Yes, I am Lord Beerus' teacher as well.
His teacher. Dragon Ball Super. Saturday at 11:30. Make me your student, please, and I won't let you down.
I'll train you. If you agree to become a destroyer one day.
Only Toonami on Adult Swim.
Cool. And now we will have a re-airing of the final episode of Sand Whale and Me. We finally come to the end of our Sand Whale and Me journey. We would like to thank Oshi and
That's already over with
for his
already.
work on this and agreed to do something, no reason, just for fun with us. And I hope he enjoyed doing it as much as I enjoyed watching it. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but as Oshi told me when I asked him, what is this about? Why does everything have to make sense, is what he said. So,
Which is a fair response.
I think that's a fair response too. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Maybe we'll do stuff like that in the future. Maybe we won't, but it was something we felt like it would be fun to try out. So, and it seems like people dug it. So then finally,
Did you like it, Aaron?
We got actual show.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Now let's take a look at it.
Did you like it? What?
You went to see the finale, see how it ends.
Yeah. Same here. The music kind of sounds like either Kingdom Hearts or
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy. Him and that person again. Or her and that person again.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Did you kill it?
What's it, baby?
Don't celebrate the food, you idiots!
Oh, jeez. That's funny.
I mean, come on, they're celebrating and he's not even dead. Jesus.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. They're all celebrating and he's not even dead.
Yeah, keep going.
That's funny.
Finally. Finally have to have done that. Are you kidding me? This whole saga was about her getting that sandwich for food.
What was it about?
Her getting that sand whale for food.
To get that sand whale for food?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Keep going.
It's almost over.
Awesome. So long, Sand Whale and me. And then finally, we have our promo for season 2 of Attack on Titan. And for those of you who are sort of Toonami promo nerds, we made this promo without the English version, and we only had 2 episodes. So this is what we can do. Just give us 2 episodes. This is what we can do. So I think this promo came out great. I'm really excited about Attack on Titan season 2. I don't envision they're going to answer any of the open questions that they left us with 3 years ago, but I am excited no matter either way because I think the show was great, fun. So let's check out our promo for Attack on Titan season 2.
What it is with the big guys, right? The big people.
Yeah. I need to catch up on season 1.
It's right. I seen the live one of it, the live movie.
What?
It's been 3 years.
The live movie of it.
The live action movie?
Yeah. The live action movie. Yes.
How did that hold up?
It's good.
I'm pretty sure it was in Japanese.
Yeah, it's in Japanese, but Kevin owns it, I guess. Or he has it already.
How was it? Did you watch the whole movie?
What?
Did you watch the whole movie?
Keep going.
Did you watch the whole movie?
What, baby?
Did you watch the whole movie?
Yes. When I was at Plains one day. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're fine.
Started. You thought you were safe, but they're inside the walls, and your nightmare is about to begin once more. Toonami is proud to present season 2 of Attack on Titan, premiering Saturday night at 12:30. Open wide.
yeah, I think I'm probably gonna watch that live every week.
Yeah,
just because I think that'll be fun. And then
live tweeting every episode.
And then finally, we have Gil's recurring
back-to-back weeks.
We have Gil's recurring thing he does called One Man's Trash, in which Trash Man Gil finds a thing to do in a video
Takes
game
out the trash.
that is totally pointless and does it just to do it. And so this week, review what we're going to see.
Yeah, this week I was playing Mass Effect Andromeda, and I decided to.
Andromeda? Andromeda's out?
It's not a great Mass Effect game.
Andromeda's out?
But
I
it
like
is a
Mass
fun
Effect though.
game because it's a Mass Effect game. I enjoyed playing it.
It's a 7 out of 10 Mass Effect
It
game.
was like my
It's a
most
shame
favorite
because the
game was
others were
Mass
9s
Effect.
or 10.
I had a more visceral dislike for the
When you
second
used
Mass
to have
Effect
it on
game
our
than I did for
Xbox.
this one in terms of.
And I used to play it all the time.
Okay.
Different Mass Effects, not this one. I haven't played this one before. I forgot which one I was playing with which one my sister had that I was playing. But it wasn't this one.
Cool.
Sorry, I had to tell you that.
What are they doing?
That's fucking.
I didn't have to take a year off of this game.
That is bananas.
But that speaks more to one, my psychoses,
The story
and
of the second
also,
Mass Effect is like the best of all three.
and then also just that that felt like they'd stripped so much stuff out. This one is just sort of like I don't understand some of the choices.
This one, they just stripped all the fun shit and left tons and tons of dumb busy work for you to do.
Right.
You get to play Sudoku puzzles. You get
You get to find the tiles.
You get to find tiles.
to
You get
then,
really
to then play the Sudoku.
you get really bad hinky combat. You get real weird animations of characters,
which they fixed,
and a story that is way less interesting than any other previous Mass Effect game until kind of the end. And then a story which is completely open-ended, in which they answer literally none of the questions that they set up in the game.
Right.
And there's plenty of trash to do. So why don't we take a look at what you did, and then we can talk about it.
Cool. Welcome to another edition of One Man's Trash, where I value your time even less than my own. Today we're going to be playing Mass Effect Andromeda, the newest Mass Effect game out, and it's not without its flaws.
We'll make do with what we've got.
But it is still pretty fun. With today's video games, people tend to rate them either a 10 or a 0, and those are the only two options you have. But Mass Effect is somewhere closer to the 10 range than 0. If you've liked the Mass Effect games before, you should definitely play this one. And if you didn't, it's probably not a great place to start. All that aside, we're here to waste some time, so let's get down to it. When I was looking at the trophies, most of them seemed pretty boring and not really in a good way, so I decided to waste a whole lot of time and scan the entire Helios cluster. There isn't a trophy for that, and while you do technically get something out of it, it's so small that it really doesn't matter, so it's pretty much perfect for One Man's Trash. You get some resources you don't need, some experience points you probably don't need, and it takes a really long time. So, like I said, perfect. They've changed up the mining and scanning mechanic, but it still pretty much sucks. You go to a system, you go to a planet, and you wait for an anomaly to come up, and by anomaly they mean anything, because the default is that there's nothing there. So you scan a planet, or you scan the system, and then you move on to the next planet, and you zoom into that planet, and you slowly look at it, and you slowly back out, and you turn around, you fly to the next planet, and you do that for a system, and then there's like 40 systems out there. So settle in and get a snack. And you do this again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. In case I wasn't being clear enough, getting to all these different systems takes forever.
Anomaly detected.
And every now and then you get some huge mineral deposit that they claim, and then you get 50 iron. And then you go and find some anomaly that's a crater, and you get 270 experience points. Or a mountain, and it's 270 experience points. Or it's an ice field, and it's 270 experience points. Every now and then you actually do get something cool, like a derelict ship, but instead of being able to get off and go run around and kill a bunch of guys, you get a bunch of shopping list materials that you don't need, and then you move on to the next system. I even found an escape pod one time, and I got excited. Well, shame on me, there's nothing to do there.
No signs of life. No bodies aboard. Just an automated message.
Some of your companion quests actually do make you scan, and there actual are things to go do and fight in levels. But that just makes you want to do more of that in these other places. If you haven't noticed, you can't. And after I'd scanned about I don't know, 85% of the Helios cluster. They put out a patch which actually fixed a lot of the bugs and animation issues and a bunch of the other stuff. But it also allowed you to skip a lot of the flying mechanics, which really pissed me off because back in my day, I had to fly to all these planets and watch all the stuff, and I couldn't get to skip it. Kids today, as I was coming to the end, I decided to make sure I didn't miss any systems, and lo and behold, I had, because I realized I was just playing the game and got kind of tired of scanning stuff. So once I got back on track, I did have one final system to get, Dar Higa, and his friends call him Dar. When I finished that system, I backed out and was looking around, and for the first time ever, noticed that it said 95% Helios cluster on the top, and I freaked out a little bit. And I started looking around, and I realized that I scanned everything, and that was actually 100% of the game. So I thought, well, maybe I'll look at that and do it. And I looked at my tasks, and it looked so mind-numbingly boring that I just said, screw that. And I hooked up the Nomad to go do some neutral drops on H047C. And while I was there, I decided to get the Hang Time trophy for floating your Nomad for, I think it's 38 seconds or 35 seconds or something like that. And then I just drifted off into the ether. If you have something fun or dumb for me to do in a video game, hit me up on Twitter @StupidGil and let me know.
Wasted enough time. It's a cool button. Shoot pirates, save people.
What, babe?
Okay. I need to go, but keep going. There's only a little bit more. There's only a little bit left. Keep going.
Okay. You can do it. Okay.
We've got this. I'm proud of you for doing it.
I mean, they kind of ruined it by fixing it, but
yeah. So what you're so they did an update in which the multiple load screens getting into the planets didn't. You can skip it. You can skip it because so full disclosure, I played this Mass Effect and pretty much did everything other than all the dumb step and fetch it, recurring missions where it's like tasks. Just the tasks. I didn't do all the tasks, but I did everybody's individual story. I did every main thing. I did every secondary thing. I collected all the memories for Sam. So I did everything you can do, and I was even enough of a nerd that I seriously thought about trying to get 100% and reveal all the galaxies. But the mechanic made me so angry sitting there waiting, watching.
Keep going.
Did you get it?
Keep going.
Okay.
Load that I just was like, no, I'm not doing it. And so that's one way of looking at it. I value my time. You obviously don't, which is the whole point of this is that you don't value your time. Life is short, folks. That's my message to you.
So find something dumb to do.
Yeah, sure. If you're Gil. Gil, well, you don't believe in anything. Life is meaningless to you, so you don't care about wasting time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is no spoon.
Right. That's
Thanks for watching.
That's in a nutshell. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with more. I don't know what we're talking about, but hopefully it'll be interesting.
We'll be doing another movie.
Oh yeah,
hand and glove question of the week based something on the 4 minutes.
Some bullshit. We'll be here though. Come check us out.
Bye.
Okay, I gotta go.
All right. Call me tonight. Love you, babe.
All right. Bye.
Bye.